pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop. Hello. We are back. Your Purple Pants podcast. Pit Stop coverage covering season 36 of The Amazing Race. We are here covering the season finale. I am here with the winner of Amazing Race, season 29, the Brooke to my Cam High, my Brooke Poo. Brooke, welcome back to the podcast.
Hello. For the last time this season and for a while, we may have to find something else to talk about because we're going to have like a full year until we do this again. And frankly, that's too long.
Yes.
So, but hi, you look fabulous today, by the way.
Thank you.
I like
a lot of
hair.
Thank you. You had to switch it up a little bit, a lot of people in the comments are like, in the YouTube comments are not happy that this will be our last pit stop for a while. They keep telling us to go back and watch some older episodes. So we might have to give them some content over the summer or something. But yes, let us know in the comments or tweet us or DM us if you think we should rerun another season or older season that I haven't seen. Let us know what season.
Yeah, pick a season. Tell us what season. I've seen them all, but it's new to Brice.
We know. Yes. But we are here to cover the finale of season 30. I'm about to say 29. The finale. Maybe
I don't know that anyone wants to see that again. I don't know.
Maybe we should rewatch your season, Brooke.
I have so much behind the scenes information, but I have a feeling I'd probably get a little bit defensive where I'd be like, but here's what really happened that day. So we'll talk about it.
Okay.
If you want to see it, let us know.
All right. Well, we are here talking the finale of season 36. I do know Brooke was in Brooklyn. Tell us about the finale party.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry you missed it. It was so much fun. So I went with Jelani from season 26. Shout out Jelani. We love you.
Yes.
And it's like 20 minutes from my apartment, right? So we got on the L train at 8:15 and we're like, we're going to have an hour to hang out with everybody. I told you I'd send you some videos. We have like a full-on Amazing Race experience because we get to the L train as the doors are closing and then the doors pop open as they do sometimes. And we're like, yes. So we hopped on the train. We're like, this is perfect. And then we stood there. And then like 6 trains going the other way passed by. This is no joke. I'm not even exaggerating. And we stood there. And finally a conductor came to each car because the system wasn't really working. And it's like, there is a track fire at Canarsie, Brooklyn. We don't know when we're moving. And we've already wasted a half an hour. It is now like 8:50. So we run out of the subway and we find ourselves a cab. And the cab driver is allergic to the gas pedal. We took so long to get there. We rolled it at 9:27. I'm like, here, keep the change. I'm like throwing money in a respectful way. Thank you so much to the cab driver. Also, he didn't know where he was going, so I had to give him turn by turn.
He definitely was on this season.
Yeah, I was like,
definitely on this season.
Please go to the Manhattan Bridge and go this way. He's like, I don't know how to get there. And I'm like, okay. So we're giving him turn by turn directions. We hop out, we run in, we get to say hi to like people quickly. And then the show starts. But anyway, so highlights for me, Derek and Shalisa, who definitely were not like fans previously of the show because Shalisa's like, oh my God, Derek, she was on the show. They were so nice and gorgeous. And there is Danny and Angie, who I am so happy to have met them in person. They are just as nice, if not nicer, in person. And shout out to Danny with like the cool facial hair and the fun line. I'm only used to seeing him in like a Team Walla Walla shirt. And so we hung out. I saw like, he's great. Reason 472 why I love Danny. He was like so inclusive and so wonderful and just so kind. And Angie was asking about you and she asked me to please give you a hug. So next time I see you, I will give you a hug from Angie.
Shout out Angie. She looks great. She looks amazing.
Looks gorgeous. Like gorgeous dress.
634. Wow, I love Angie in this photo. Angie is giving life. Angie is feeding the children. We love Angie. Danny looked nice too, but I mean, Mama Angie is looking delicious.
She made some comment like, this is the second time I've worn a dress in like a very long time. She looked gorgeous. And then I saw Juan and Shane, who they're there. So I walk up to Juan and Shane and go, okay, so you guys won, right? Because in true fashion of last year when Greg and John were all dapper in their suits, these two gorgeous bozos showed up in tuxedos. And I'm like, well, they must have won because they really dressed up really, they cleaned up nicely. And their wives were gorgeous and they were so kind and so lovely. And just as fun in real life as you saw in the race. So I really like it when people are just as nice or nicer than they were on TV. And we got Bailey, who we sent her a little video, and Bailey's like, dude, you're right. I would have been good at everything.
Told you I can't make it up. I could see it in the twins. I know it.
And then we got to see Rod and Letitia. Rod was smiling just like on the show. She was so nice. I got to finally hug Karishma, which was great. I saw her and she like jumped up. And you were right. She said you met her, which I knew. And she was so lovely. And I got to meet Vinny and Amber. They were great. Vinny was so kind. Like he was actually really, really, really nice. I think he got a bad edit. In person, he was lovely and kind. So, and then obviously the ones I knew, I'd already met Ricky and Cesar, so I knew they were amazing. But it was very, very cool. Every team was there except for Sunny and Busy. And it was great to not know how it ended. The only problem is it was hard to hear, so I had to come home at like 2 a.m. and rewatch it.
Girl,
so
if you heard it, you would have went home and watched it at 4 a.m.
Well, I mean, I would have watched it anyway, but I had a couple of things that happened that I will tell you about that you're going to laugh about because I had like 2 legitimate faux pas over the course of the night. So we'll get there, but it's funny. Yeah, the party was awesome. Everybody was great. And I wish we could do it again, but it's going to be like a solid year and change until the next one, which is unfortunate.
Well, I'm glad that you had a great time.
Yvonne and Melissa brought the baby. I got to meet Vivian. She had little headphones and her little foot was sticking out from her little papoose. She was gorgeous. They sat a little bit in a separate area that I think was a little more quiet. And Sean and Michelle were there, and she looked so good. She was in like this one piece, like spandex red
did you jump double dutch?
I did not because I arrived too late and then I started drinking and I thought maybe that was a bad idea. So
that sounds like a good idea.
Skipped the jump roping, but they are just pure joy and pure smiles. And I mean, they both, but she looked.
Did you meet Chris and Mary?
Oh my God, yes. Also, Mary's birthday is the day after mine. So her birthday was Wednesday. So we toasted to our birthdays. Chris was he went up to everybody and he's like, oh my God, so nice to meet you. And he started posting like former racer. Like his posts are so funny.
Chris, oh my God. Chris's Instagram. So mind you, so funny
former
story.
Racer, good person. It's just so hilarious.
I love Chris. They came to our Boston party, like I was telling you, and surprised us. And so I was like, oh my God, we got to get a photo. Chris was taking photos. Next thing I know, he was posting them. I love watching Chris.
Podcaster. Like what you say about him, he's just so funny.
I love Chris's. I literally, after Boston, I turned on my post notifications. So every time Chris posts something, I get notified. Yeah, Chris is he is an influencer in the making. So if you have not followed Chris.Foster, I think it is. Hold on, because we want to make sure we could send some.
Oh gosh, they were so lovely and so wonderful. They're just such nice people.
They really are.
Everybody was just such nice people. Oh, I love it.
I agree. Like I so agree. Hold on, wait.
I know I'm looking for it too.
It is Chris.Foster.1. Okay, because it's only one Chris Foster.
.1.
Can you please do us a favor and go to Chris's Instagram?
Beautiful family. It's just so funny. It's everything.
And show him some love. Give him some purple hearts and let him know.
Season 29 winner. Check it.
Posse sent you. Yes. Chris and Mary are amazing. I love them. Their energy. They're just like, I love them. But listen, we could talk about all the amazing racers because, you know, they are amazing. But let's get into this episode because we have a lot to get into. And I haven't been agreeing with you a lot all season, but I got a gripe right off the back.
Okay, well, what is it?
I mean, well, okay. You start, but I can't. Okay, so when we was in Barbados, I'm gonna have to
last
agree,
week
or no? Where was we at this week?
Dominican Republic.
The DR.
Yeah.
I'm with you now. I haven't been with you this whole season about this, but when I was in my bed eating my Pat's pizza, minding my business, I really felt like the challenges in the DR were so easy. Now, I was like, I'm going to have to agree with Brooke. I'm like
that. I'm very glad they didn't make the penultimate leg a 90-minute episode because they just couldn't have. There was nothing. They did it well. It was like 30 minutes and the finale was an hour and it was good. I will say I have a couple things about let's do it. So anyway.
And then here's my other gripe.
Oh no, please.
So the first thing that they gotta do is on the boat. Well, maybe this isn't really a gripe because maybe I was still a little hungover when I was watching, but they had to like head over to that thing and dive to get the clue. Now, when I'm watching the boat, I'm like, why are all the teams on the boat together? But now in my head, I'm thinking it's 2 teams and 2 teams, so that's 4 people. Okay, so that's not really a gripe of mine. But when I saw it, I'm like, why are all the teams on the boat going to dive? But well, I mean, I also thought about Corey and Rob.
Oh, well,
Rob wouldn't even got in the boat. Okay, Rob would have swam. Okay. But yeah, I just thought the DR challenges were a little lackluster. That's all I'm gonna say. However, Brooke always says, if you make it to the nation, Brooke rule number 732. If you make it long enough on a race, there will be a roadblock.
This one was for me. This is what makes me so sad. No, okay. So what?
It would have been for me. I would have been making them drink.
Oh, not that one. That's not the one that's for me. I, as you know, am a certified scuba diver. So when they do, the first thing that they say is you can do the dive rigs or you can do the bartending. Now, everyone chose the bartending, which I guess if you've never seen like a BCD and a dive tank, you wouldn't buoyancy controlled it. You would never know how to do it. To put 4 tanks together, it would have taken me, 7 minutes. Like the whole thing would have been so fast and so easy because if you know what you're doing, it's like boom, 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 tighten this, turn that, the end. So fast. I am so sad nobody did it. And I'm sitting there going, well, that's the one. That's the Brooke challenge right there.
Also, you just even saying that, Brooke, if like you know what you're doing and it only takes 7 minutes, that could have been the difference in $1 million this episode.
Absolutely. But now the drink challenge, everyone was like, that was really easy. And this seemed like a really lopsided detour. But it wasn't lopsided if you'd ever done the other side of the challenge. But if you'd never seen it before, there's like 8 steps to put together a thing. It's not particularly hard.
And
so
everybody was saying, what is Chi-Chi doing this season? Rod doing everything. Chi-Chi got up in that bar.
Well, Rod got up in her neck. He was all just trying to make it.
Rob was trying to get the lime and the juice and the lime, but Chi-Chi
was trying to get something. It wasn't the lime and the juice. I'll tell you that. Okay, sorry. Sorry, Mom.
Like they are very active. I'm so sorry, Mama Cam High and Papa Cam High. But listen, y'all got kids, so at one point
when she made the comment easier, ew, come on.
They make beautiful things, okay?
Well, I'll take that. Okay, so 9 teams are gone. We missed them. We love. Oh, Rowan and Maya, who are at. I don't know why I love them. I don't know why I love them. I don't know why I didn't mention them at the beginning. They are
they're the best.
Kindness and sweetness.
But don't let Maya fool you. Don't let Maya fool you. Because first of all, Maya can party. Let me just tell you that. Because me and Maya had a time in Pittsburgh at some little ratchet bar. I was like, Maya, you okay? Maya was like, I'm fine. Are you okay? I said, okay, Maya. So yeah, but
I'm excited because I feel like they are a team that 37 seasons from now, you're still going to see them out having fun, and they'll still be young because they're still college students. Wow. I could have mothered them, but I love them.
Maya and I are the same age.
So she looked gorgeous too. He was dressed so nicely also. I will tell you, people really, Kishori and Karishma, to the nines. Everyone really dressed up, and it's a good-looking cast of people. Just good-looking. Anyway, that's my story. Okay, so 4 teams are left. Juan and Shane, who are finally finding their place at the front of the pack. You have, who did I write that? That's not right. Ricky and Caesar. I wrote them back. I always write R and C. And I wrote C and R, and I was like, who the hell are C and R?
Just add
it's Ricky. I don't know what I was doing. Okay, so anyway, they've won 6 times. They're living their dream, blah, blah, whatever. Vinny and Amber, I think the edit for him was real. He was so nice. I think they took out his happy. I believe they brooked him. That's all I'm saying. And then Rod and Letitia, Rod still has this positive attitude. Letitia's in good spirits. They're ready to go, whatever. So anyway, they jump off the boat and Phil says they're going to have to dive down to the bottom of the ocean to get their clue. Damn if Rod's head didn't even go underwater. Like, they didn't have to dive. And there's no diving. This was like, the clue's right here. Bloop. Like, maybe they went under a foot. Like, maybe. You don't have to dive for nothing. But okay. And then they had to swim to shore. Now, shout out to Ricky, who was very fast in the first group. And then even faster, Juan and Shane cut through that water like they were sharks.
Listen. The way Juan and Shane was splashing in that water was almost how I was splashing in my mind when I first seen Juan and Shane come on the screen. I said, look at them go. Now, I also was saying, now, Juan, why are you so fast in the water, but on land you're a little slower?
Oh, no, I'm not going to let you. I'm going to get defensive of Juan because not only is he like the nicest person I've ever met, he's hilarious, and I did a little something to embarrass myself. But we'll get there. That's fine.
But we love them. But I thought the same thing. I said, Juan and Shane is not playing. They are fish. I'm like, and maybe that is their Achilles heel. If we would have had more water challenges, I'm like, maybe Juan and Shane could have like, yeah. But I thought the same thing. I was like, why are they so damn
They were
fast
so
in
bad.
that
Also,
water?
Brice, at some point, I'm going to say, I think you could have influenced the outcome of this race. I think had you followed them, I think things would have been differently, but we'll get there when we get there. Anyway, detour. You got to do the dive thing, which honestly, 10 seconds. Or this rum sip where you have to make 6 drinks, unless you're Ricky and Caesar, then you have to make 7 drinks, and then you have to give them to these pirates, and that's it. This challenge could have been so much better.
I was even thinking, because okay, because I was confused, because it's like, you make the drinks and then the bartender tells you. I thought the challenge could have been more difficult if you had to remember who ordered what.
Yes. Agree. Make it hard. Have to take all the orders at once. Remember which pirates wanted which drink. Like, have to find the pirates around the beach. Have to carry all the drinks on one tray, and if you spill them, start over. Like, no, this could have been so much better. I'm sorry. I have like a picture in my head of like a way better challenge.
I ain't walking around no beach trying to find no damn pirate, because mind you, I'm gonna be sipping the pina colada.
Even at tables, like, I have to carry the tray, and like if you spill, start over. Like, even if they were just not all just sitting right there and you're like, who wanted it? What they should have done, what should have happened was you make one of each, go in the back, make one of each, walk out and be like, who wants what? And then you're done. You don't even have to take orders with this. Or it would have been cooler if some of the pirates wanted the same thing. And then if you had made one of each, I don't know. There were ways to do this that were better than this.
And I would have loved if someone ordered like 2 of the pina coladas, one would have had to been a mocktail or something, like to switch it up a little bit. But mind you, this would have been my challenge, because I am a barista, not with coffee, but with alcohol. But
would you have made an extra drink for yourself in the back?
Girl, I would have been with them pirates. What y'all doing today? Hey, because I
would have smacked you upside the head and been like, this is the second to last leg. We are not messing around now. Oh my God, you reminded me of Scott. Scott was so funny on our season because he was always looking for like the handsome men. And I had to be like, focus.
Sorry.
Like,
some of the pirates, I'd have been like, y'all need a parrot on your shoulder because,
talk about the parrot that was on one of the pirates' shoulders who took the little straw out of the drink. That was this episode's dog. We had a really cute parrot who started stealing straws, and that was adorable.
Oh, I also want to give a shout out to Amber this episode, because I feel like after 10 episodes, I feel like Amber has finally found her voice, because when they are running to get to the Paradise Bar and Juan and Shane asking somebody for direction, baby, just run down the beach, Juan and Shane. But I loved how Benny was like, well, if they start running this way, we'll run this way. And Amber was like, babe. Like,
I'm Team Vinny. Sorry. At this point, keep another team within sight, because if you go the wrong way and they go the right way, then you're out. Like, with only 4 teams left, I was Team Vinny on this. Sorry, I was.
I was Team Amber in the sense of like, we are at this episode. Let's run our own race. If we get lost, we get lost. But
if you get lost, you go home.
But I mean, also, if we bet on ourselves and we just run and we find Paradise Bar, that could have been a difference of you getting proposed to this episode or at the finish line. So I was with Amber.
Congratulations to Vinny and Amber. That is very exciting. But I will say they did get there last. So maybe running their own race was not the right way to do it, because they did show up last.
No, because they waited 10 minutes for Juan and Shane. No, like I
I
I
hear
am
you. I'm
mad.
with you.
But what I was happy though was Amber was like, "Let's run like our
Okay.
own race," and then he just shut up and ran his own race with her. So I was like, "Yes, Amber, 10
Okay.
episodes in, but listen, come on, I'm here for it."
I like it. I will say nobody had a problem. Well, the only person that had Amber used the wrong glass for something, but other than that, nobody had a problem with this
Right.
challenge. It was like very straightforward, very easy. Ricky and Cesar, although even with making an extra one, come out first place. You have Rod and Letitia. She was killing it, and he was distracting her with kisses. She's like, just get off me. And so she did great. They end up in second. Juan and Shane, they're doing this one drink at a time. Then they start doing it 2 drinks at a time. I don't know why everyone didn't do it 6 drinks at a time. Like you had the names in front of you. Like maybe I don't. So there was just better ways for this challenge to happen. But again, not the cast's fault. That's a production thing and not important. Once you finish easy task number 1, you had to go to this Caribe beach for your next clue. And this is where we find out that Ricky is mortal. So, mortal, but just barely.
Barely. We know his kryptonite. We know Ricky's kryptonite. And
Have
that's
you been windsurfing? That is hard. It's not easy.
I'm with Letitia. The only thing I've been is boogie boarding.
Yeah, it's not easy. So it says, who wants to take a stand? You have to windsurf for a full minute. And you'll get knocked over a bunch of times. And shout out, by the way, to Letitia, who did it on like the 3rd try. And I do think that it is probably a little bit easier. A woman's center of gravity is a bit lower. And she got very wide and very low. And she did it right. Like she was standing in a way that was right.
And I also thought it was hard because it's like, okay, keyword, what are we doing? We are wind surfing, right? Say it with me, Brooke. Wind surfing. I don't think we're giving them enough credit because what they was doing was surfing because there was no wind. And like, I would imagine it would maybe be a little easier if like you were moving around, but shout out to them. And for the last time this season, I can say with certainty, with 1,000% accuracy, that this would have been Anthony and Bailey's task had they made it to the end because they are surfer breweries. Okay,
I actually think this might have actually been it. This might have been the thing.
If they could have made it 9 more episodes, they would have took it home. And how I know with certainty, Brooke, that this would have been their challenge. How I know with certainty.
Brice, I found him, and he says it wasn't his task.
No, she's lying. I would have won. Actually, I did win. Check it tonight.
Okay, we have certainty that this was the twins challenge, and they would have won.
That was early enough in the night that I was still making sense. Okay, so yeah, they were so nice, by the way. Side note, nice. I'm going to say it. I shouldn't say it. No, this is funny. They were going to jump on this podcast with us and surprise you and just tell you what their task would have been. But I just got a text that that's not going to happen. So they couldn't even find their way onto the podcast. I love them. I loved them. I had so much fun with them. They are so amazing.
Now, wait a minute.
No, with their flights, things got messed up and they're not available.
Brice, I found him, and he says it wasn't his task.
No, she's lying. I would have won. Actually, I did win. Check it tonight.
Shout out to Bailey. That was so funny. They were such good sports. I was like, thank you guys for not hating me. I was like all in good fun. And they were just lovely, wonderful humans. And Anthony sends his apologies because they were going to hop on, but another time, there will be another time, and there will be many, many more times, I'm sure. But I do actually think the windsurfing would have, it was up their alley. Like this would have been it.
So
maybe yeah, so this would have been the one. But next, I mean, maybe they'll get to come. Maybe they'll do like an all twin season. There have been so many twin teams or like sibling teams. I always think there's not enough siblings on the race. Anyway, so Ricky, God love Ricky. I would have been a puddle of anger and sadness, but he's up there and I'm watching and then I'm watching because Ricky's like here. So I'm like looking and looking and looking and looking. And they just, they knew what happened, but they just had he just had this look of like, oh, like remembering it for the first time and seeing it. I had that look many times where I was like, yeah. But anyway.
But they made me cry though, right? Like, and because I was like, oh, this would suck if they went home. Now, mind you, the fan in me was like, oh my God. Then it would be between Juan, Rod, and Vinny and Amber. Like I was like, oh, this, now we might be like, but what I loved so much was Caesar
Yes.
on the side,
Mhm.
still being like, he's struggling, but he's not losing his cool. He's standing strong. And then when he finally got it, and Caesar is like, "You did great. You like,
I'm
I
like
was
tearing
like,
up now.
where my man? Where is my man? I want somebody to cheer for me like that." I was like a ball of mess while I was eating my Pat's pizza in my bed. But I was like, I love this because if that was me, I would have been cussing my partner out like, what is you doing? But again, that's why Ricky and Caesar are amazing because just the love that he was pouring into Ricky. And at a time that I have to know Ricky is beating himself up, right? Like, that, like, I dropped the ball for us. And the fact that Caesar would just meet him with like, and I don't feel like it was fake love. I felt like Caesar was like, I am so proud of you. Like, you stuck through it. Like, I was just like, where am I man?
It was just, he was on the side, and you know, when you stand on the side, there's nothing you can do to help. And you know, Ricky didn't like to be cheered for previously, but I think in this moment, this is exactly what he needed. I don't even know if he could hear him, but to be on the sidelines, to have this be your dream, and to be like, oh my God, it could be over. Like Caesar could have been on the side being like, oh, like it's okay, whatever.
Right.
He is just screaming, good job, Ricky. I love you, Ricky. Like it was just so supportive and so wonderful and so lovely that it just like, it gives me chills to even like think about and talk about. It's so beautiful. They're just so beautiful. Like,
and Caesar must know that wind sailing is Ricky's kryptonite, but he's like, if he can get through this, we're still immortal. So we could still fly, literally, because they could fly, walk through walls, they could do a lot of things. And so he's like, if you could just get off this wind sail, we
bond
could
metal with their minds. They can do
bond metal with
okay.
Like you can cook with your feet, okay? Like you can, So I just, that moment definitely got me teary-eyed. And I'm just like, look at the support and the love from this couple.
But I think we kind of needed that moment. Like that moment was really good because it showed that they can't do everything. But even when you can't do something, you can. And you eventually will. And it was nice to see a little bit of a struggle.
I almost feel like they so damn good. And you know Ricky is a theater musical major. Ricky could have been up there just trying to give us a show. Like, we can't just win it. Let me get up there and perform. I believe Ricky could have been up there just performing.
I actually think that's really useful when I'm struggling with something. I just sing to myself in my head and it makes time pass faster. Like, I don't believe in the gym, but like when I used to, like, in the 5 weeks where I was working out for the race, I would like be in a plank and they'd be like 5 minutes. And I'd be like, okay. And I would just start singing in my head and it makes time go faster. I wonder what he was doing to just. No,
I'm saying he was performing like he was purposely
sucking
at it to make the other teams feel like they had a chance. That's how damn good they are. He was just up there falling.
Ricky. We see you didn't actually need to do it. What was it, like 31 times or something ridiculous? He could have done it in one, but he was trying to make people feel like they had a chance. Okay, I'll go with that.
Right. And Ricky stopped playing when he saw Juan and Shane get there. He was like, all right, let me get on.
Now I have to actually do it.
Now I have to actually do it.
That's funny. So anyway, Letitia again does amazing. She immediately goes into the water. She doesn't even bother practicing on land, which is very smart.
And so, to all of the people in the Facebook cult that Brooke was telling me about, and all the people that's on the Twitters that was saying, oh, Letitia ain't doing that, and it's all right, Letitia ain't doing that. Chi clocked in today when she needed to. Okay, she got bopped over the head.
Cracked in the head,
had a concussion, got back on that thing, and said, rock the boat, rock the boat. Right. Oh, wow. And this is another thing. You know what? I got a gripe with Chi.
Oh.
Chi, I know you probably don't listen to the podcast, but it's fine. This message is for you. How the hell you get clocked over the head, dizzy, get back on it, you rocking the boat, and how the hell you still look so damn good? I'm trying to figure out, like, girl, why do you look like you're giving a windsurfing instruction? Like, damn you, Chi, you look so good.
I would come out of the water looking like a drowned rat. Like I would have just been like,
I could
horrible.
picture you Have you ever seen those memes of like a bear waking up from the
Thanks.
winter slumber?
Are you kidding
Brooke,
me?
that's how you would get out to work.
Like I would just be a mess, a mess. She comes out looking like Daryl Hannah in Splash, where she's all like beautiful. The lips are done, the lashes are done, and just a side by side of me and her would just be, you'd laugh your ass off. It would be so funny. I can take a joke. I'd be a mess. Anyway, she finishes first, which is fantastic. Juan and Shane show up. He jumps right in the water. He's great. I'm like, I can't say enough good things about these people. Loved him.
I was happy that because Juan did the windsurfing, right?
Mhm.
I was happy that Juan. I'm happy Juan because I would have been a little
Because
nervous.
he can't cut an avocado, he can't do windsurfing. Is that what you're
I just that avocado it's haunted me, and I'm just glad that Juan. I do feel like between Juan and Shane, Juan's. They say the closer you are to the ground, you have more like center of gravity. So I think that like Juan has a very strong center.
But you know what? I think he's deceptively tall because Shane and Rod are like the same height. Shane's actually really tall, and Juan, although he looks short compared to Shane, is still really tall because he's tall. I think he's probably still 6 feet tall. Like he's not.
Well, Brooke, you are
little.
5'1", so I mean,
I am 5'5.5". Thank you.
so Brooke 5'1", so Shane's 5'5" is probably really tall. But no, I was happy that Shane did it because I just felt like this was
No,
a test. Juan. I just felt like Juan would be, I was just scared that if Shane did it, Shane, you're supposed to hold the wind sails like this. I feel like Shane will be, because when you cut the
avocado, yeah, no.
But we love him.
Horrible. Love them very much. Anyway, Rod and Letitia are out of there first. They have to take a taxi to this Olympus beach and get on this dune buggy, ride the dune buggy for 45 feet, hop in a kayak for 60 feet, and then find Phil on a beach. This leg was short. It was easy. I think it was some filler to get themselves to the final leg. But anyway, so Rod and Letitia get there first. They are on the dune buggies, and then Juan and Shane get on the dune buggies. Then Ricky and Cesar get off the windsurfing thing after like 30 tries or something ridiculous. And good for you, Ricky, because your positivity would have been out my window after try like 4. I would have just been like sobbing, but still going, but sobbing. And then you have Vinny and Amber. Vinny is a surfer, so he's like, don't even give me a lesson, get me in the water and go. And he did a great job too. I do actually believe that the time that Ricky got it, Vinny got it like the next time. So I think they were like 2 minutes behind, something really close. And then I don't need this page anymore, right? No. Okay. So you have to get.
I do love Vinny and Amber, but I'm going to blame this on Vinny because if we would have kept running to Paradise Bar,
no,
you see how close they were like in the water rowing as Ricky and Cesar got there. The difference, the finale could have been different if we would have kept running to Paradise Bar, but I couldn't see. Were they running the right way though? I
don't think so. That's what
okay.
I think.
All right. Okay.
I think he was right. I think they should have waited for Juan. I think he was right. But anyway, so make your way to the pit stop. You take this dune buggy to this kayak to meet Phil on a mat. Ron and Letitia tip the kayak. It doesn't even matter. They're still in first place, the pit stop. They win a trip to Rome. Brooke's gripe number 1, because as you know, we won 2 legs of the Amazing Race, leg 11 and leg 12. And leg 11, there was no flipping prize. I want my trip to Rome. But girl, whatever.
Take that million.
Well, but here's the thing. If we didn't win leg 12, then it would have been like, yeah, we won a leg of the race, but.
You want to win a leg? Or you want to win a whole bucket of chicken?
I do like the chicken.
Okay.
Fine. Shut up, Brooke. Okay. Anyway, they get to the pit stop. Rod and Letitia earn first. Juan and Shane are very cute because they're on the dune buggy and they have like a moment of couples counseling where Juan is all, I'm really sorry if I said anything that was hurtful or if I was a little brisk with you. I'm sorry. And then Shane does nothing and Juan's like, and now you say. And Shane is like, I love you, man. Like they're actually that cute in person.
That was a Wendell and Brice moment for sure. So I love to see that. And I love, again, I'm rooting for Juan and Shane at this point because I'm like, they are 4th place They are a first place team, or however they said it, running second or however. But
We're
I'm like,
a first place team, sort of finding ourselves in the middle of the pack or something like
and
that. And it's true. I mean, they really. We'll talk about it. Anyway, in the dune buggy, Sacer is still saying how proud he is of Ricky. You can see a little bit on Ricky's face where he's like, "I'm really sorry I let us down," but I'm thrilled. They deserve to be in the finale. They deserve to win the whole thing. To be fair, like come
period.
on.
But
for me, it was a 2-team race at this point. Like I would have been happy with Juan and Shane. I am happy and satisfied with the ending of Ricky and Sacer, so it worked out. And then you see Vinny and Amber, who are kayaking across as Ricky and Sacer are checking in. And then we have this beautiful moment where Vinny pops down on one knee, pulls the fake ring out of his pocket because he didn't want to lose the real ring on the race, and gives Amber the proposal that apparently she's been looking for quite some time. I watched an interview where they talked about how they were originally going to be on season 34, and that fell through for them. So that would have been interesting to see them against the 34 people. That was Louis and Michelle, yes? So I would have been curious to see how they were edited on a season like that. But it gets down on one knee. He proposes. She says yes. They walk off into the sunset, and they have, their own satisfying little ending of the race. What? You have nothing to say?
Congratulations.
No. Okay. You will not be getting an invitation to.
It's okay.
Oh, but I mean, he was so nice when I met. Okay, anyway, so then the finale, where I honestly believe that you could have single-handedly changed the outcome to this race.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, they in my hometown. That's why I had to rep my Eagles, and for Juan and Vinny, not the New Jersey Eagles. Shane. Okay.
You'll get it. I mean, it's the last episode.
I kept calling Louis Vinny, and Louis texted me the other day, and I was like, "What's up, Vinny?" But my hometown team of the New Jersey Eagles. So, wanted to give you a little bit more insight because I had to go back and look at our text messages, and when I watched Phil and them, they clearly did this in the morning. So when I saw everything that was happening and I called you, they clearly must have just left, because when I called you, it was like maybe like 11:45, and all the production stuff was up, but there was no one to be around. So I really feel like they had just left. Now, they in Philadelphia. Shout out to my beautiful city of Philadelphia. I really wish they would have went to other sections of the city. And I want to give a lot of insights on a lot of the things that the people did, because I am from Philly. But if you don't believe me that Ricky and Cesar are not mortal, because if you're mortal, you could die.
You can die, right?
So they're not mortal. And all y'all people that's like, oh, an unfair advantage, they go to Spanish speaking man. Talk about an unfair advantage. Not like, I mean, what? Where have these men not the hell lived? What occupation have they not had? What sport have they not done when they were 2 months old? What dance move have they not danced? What high notes have they not hit? Because how the hell on an Amazing Race season, you get to the final leg, and as you're driving the car, Ricky goes, I used to live, like, he can point to his damn house. I was like, yes. And also, like, right where they are by the art museum, to get to the Lincoln Financial, you gotta go around the circle and you make a right to get on 676, then you get on 95, and I could just see Ricky, like, I was like, yes. Now, mind you, Juan and Shane.
No, we're not gonna, hold on. You're too far ahead. Sorry.
No.
Okay.
I'm not going that far.
Okay.
I'm going this far.
Okay.
The Lincoln Financial Field is relatively big.
Mm-hmm.
Why y'all stopping to ask somebody?
Forget it. Rod had played multiple games there, and he didn't know where he was going either, although I guess he wasn't driving the bus, so it's not a big deal.
Right.
Hold on. So, first of all the people who were all Ricky and Cesar had an unfair advantage now are way up in arms, because now it's like this is bullshit because we are now in one of the contestants' hometowns.
Ricky
now,
stopped the car, went to the bathroom at his old house,
stop by and
got
say hi
a
to
bite
his
to
mom.
eat, got back in, said hi to his grandmom and aunt, and kept driving. But now I loved that, right? Like I also just love seeing how he didn't need any instructions. Like I was like, oh,
They did say they did stop for directions a couple of times. I think some of the places they went were not places where everyone would know where they are, but it has happened a few times where the race has ended in one of the finalists' hometowns. People have won, people have lost in their hometown. It's not a given that you're going to win in your hometown.
When you're Ricky and Caesar, I mean,
well, they could have ended anywhere, and I think that they would have been A-okay. But anyway, are you coming in to say hello? Okay, we got bacon for the last episode. Anyway, now he's going away.
Okay, well, bye.
Okay.
Grand
Cameo by Bacon Camlet. That's really funny. Okay, so anyway, it happened to be in Ricky's hometown. If people were already going to hate them, people were going to hate them for this even more. But I don't know anyone who really hates them, who knows them, because they're amazing in real life. Love you guys so much. Can't wait to see you again soon. Let's go karaoke. Anyway, so they start on the steps. What do you say?
I said, we'll see them this week.
Oh, yeah, we will see them this week. Great. See you soon. They start on the Rocky Steps. Anyone who's been to Philadelphia has been on the Rocky Steps. But I will say the one thing that bothered me is the last time I was in Philadelphia, which was a couple of years ago, there is a street, correct me if I'm wrong, that is called Race Street.
Right there. You could
Race
see
Street.
It has
all these flags. It has
step space.
So when I was there, I said to myself, why has Philadelphia never been an end city for the Amazing Race? It has a street called Race Street. There are so many flags on it. I was like, I see the perfect challenge, like for a final something, the flags of all the countries you've been to, something using all of it. It's perfection. And they didn't do it and they didn't use it. And it's a little annoying, but I did like the tasks in the final episode with one glaring missing task. So
I didn't love the task.
Well, okay.
For other reasons.
Okay. So they have to go to the Lincoln Financial Stadium, right? And which is where the Eagles play. Shout out to the Eagles.
Eagles! You know I don't play about my Eagles.
Jets, Jets. No! Oh, I thought he hung up on me. He just left. Okay. And now I'm taking over. Oh, he's back. I thought you kicked me out. You kicked yourself out.
Myself out.
I just got excited to take over. You left the kid with the keys to the castle. I got very excited. Anyway, they're all driving to the football stadium. Now, I think they could have done something much more interesting in the football stadium. Season 26, they ended up in Dallas. They had to rappel down from the rafters in the stadium and kick a field goal. That was cool and a little bit harder. This one, you had to become an Amazing Race mascot, where you had to wear this horribly stupid, Mr. Met kind of world head. Everyone had to choose a mascot. They had Swoop, they had the Philly Fanatic, and they had Gritty. First of all, how do you not choose Gritty? Gritty is the shit. I think Gritty is very cool. We're a hockey household here. Mm-hmm.
For me, it's the Philly Fanatic because all of these other mascots are relatively newer in our city, but the Philly Fanatic has been here forever. But also, in true Ricky and Cesar fashion, guess what Ricky has done at some point in his life?
He was the high school mascot.
At this point, I believe Ricky is a part of production. And Ricky is out here making...
You're not the only one. Conspiracy theorists online are okay, so Ricky designed the race. This is ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway, I probably actually would have chosen Swoop only because I don't know if they knew if the mascot had to work with them on something. And the Philly Fanatics, butt is huge. He can't fit in things. Swoop is probably the best in shape. He's smallest. And probably the best if you need to work together with somebody. But
I thought the challenge was fun, though. I would have loved to see the obstacle course. I loved seeing people. I'm not sure if Chi-Chi dived through the thing. The only person that actually dived through, killing it, was Shane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay, Shane. Good thing is,
although they didn't replace the paper for him, I'm wondering if he was just that close and they didn't have time to. He jumped through an already ripped piece of paper.
Well, maybe that's why.
But maybe they were that close. I it's possible because they were all there at the same time. So
So that's what I didn't like about the edit. Sorry to keep cutting you off though.
No.
Like, because I'm like, we didn't really get to see Juan and Shane arrive. All of a sudden, they were just there. So I was like, is this the edit trying to make it seem like it's so much closer? But
all three of the bystanders were in the stands at the same time. So they were, even if it was just a few minutes, they were all very, very close. So Letitia chooses the Philly fanatic and she just goes, you. I don't think she knew who any of them were, but that's fine. She face plants through the paper, but she's doing a great job. And I actually just really wanted to shoot a t-shirt cannon because I think that would be really fun. And I think there's like kickback to that thing.
I think there are 2 rules to shooting a t-shirt cannon.
Have the t-shirt in the cannon.
Rule number 1.
And point it the right direction.
Okay.
And do I get it?
Yes.
Ding.
Okay.
Ding.
Just wish they would have went over the rules with Chi-Chi a little bit more.
My favorite is the shirt falls out. She's like, is it in there? Like, because you can't see anything. It's not easy to see through something like that. Ricky was, of course, the high school mascot. He does great. They get out of there first. Letitia gets out really close behind in second. Shane does a great job. He's thrilled to get Gritty. He's like, how do you not pick Gritty? I agree. +1 to Shane. And he gets it on the second try, but they're out in third. Goodbye. The next clue is to find your next clue between Pat and Gino's. Now, I don't think you need to have ever been to Philly. I don't even think you need to know where Philadelphia is. But when you think of Philly and food, you think of a Philly
cheesesteak, not pizza.
Like,
but
this is it, Brice. This is where you could have changed the outcome of the race. I don't know how a security guard at the stadium doesn't know Pat's and Gino's. Now, I think he might have just had like a brain fart and he was like pizza, but maybe he was just old. I don't know. Maybe he was senile. I have no idea.
Had I been one of the bystanders, I could have gave him directions. But 2 things real quick. As me being a Philadelphia native, and I know that there are very touristy things, but just let's be clear.
Neither one is particularly good.
Neither one is particularly good. We from Philly don't really eat Geno's and Pat's, and I hate to say it, but they're notoriously low racist. So we don't really. Yes, they are notoriously.
Well, now I feel badly that I've eaten one of each when I was.
Well, I mean, I've had it too, but like there's just, you can read stories and stuff. It's really a South Philly thing. People from South Philly love it. Yeah, if you ever come to Philly and you really want a cheese steak, there's Jim's Steaks and there's Delisandro's. Those are my like high.
What part of New Jersey are those located in?
Now, listen, to Juan's defense, there are some parts of New Jersey that you can get to Philadelphia without crossing a bridge, right? Like, so you can just kind of like stay on, like, you could cross a bridge, but it don't seem like you crossing a bridge though, because in that area there are some other bridges that you can go to, like Chester or like. So I knew exactly which way that they were going, and it is a little tricky, but the stadiums are in South Philly. Pat's and Geno's are in South Philly. And yeah, it's not easy to get to them, but they are close because, you know, Philly, especially where they are, Philly is one ways, and no turnings. So it was a little difficulty, but how the hell you get to Pat's Pizza?
First of all, also, I think you should have had to eat a cheesesteak from each place. Like, this was a good opportunity. There's 2 people on the team. There's 2 cheesesteaks. I think that there would have been a good eating challenge. They shouldn't have just had a clue box there. There were opportunities to add more things to this leg of the race. I think they should have had to, but whatever. Anyway, Ricky and Stacer find it, and there's no challenge there. I go, why? I don't understand. Rod and Letitia find it, and Juan and Shane ask a stadium guard. That's a great person to ask. They work in the area. They should know the answer. Who says they're pizza places? And if you're watching, Shane goes, are you sure it's not steak? He even asks, and the guy goes, pizza. I really think they should have double-checked with somebody else.
But also...
And one other thing. If this was a taxi finale, they would have won. Like, this is, if they hadn't been self-driving, because we do know that they went about 25 minutes the wrong way, about 25 minutes back, and they lost by about 45 minutes. So it would have been a race to the, like, if they didn't win, it would have been like yay close. So,
and
sorry.
I don't know if it's like in New York, but in Philly, like sometimes pizza places are synonymous with cheesesteak places, right? So most pizza places that have most pizza places will have cheesesteaks, right? So it's not
Okay.
really a lot of just cheesesteak places, but Pat's and Geno's are just cheesesteak and cheese fries and other places. But a
They're
lot of
also
pizza
the most
places,
famous two places in Philadelphia. Like, come on.
but listen, they
I when
try.
I was watching with them, you couldn't really hear, so I'm thinking, okay, they're winning. Like they're in their tuxedos. I'm like, you guys are gonna win. This is amazing. Congratulations, we're standing with the winners. But also, Ricky and Sacer, I really love you guys. I'm really happy you won. So whatever. Okay, so anyway, Juan and Shane are at this point on their way to my Nana's house in New Jersey, and this is like a gut punch. Like I'm now realizing, like, but they don't give up. They have such a good sense of humor about it. And so, meanwhile, while they're off in New Jersey, but you went to New Jersey. Like at some point when you're driving, you should realize, oh my God, I'm not in the state anymore. Like,
But New
they're not
Jersey
going to
is
send you to a different state. They're just not.
it's so close to Philadelphia that there's like the Cherry Hill Mall. Sometimes the Cherry Hill Mall is like faster to get to a mall that's closer to my house. So I'm not mad at it. I being from Philadelphia, I can understand how they made that wrong turn and drove 20 minutes out the way.
It's
I could
hurtful. It's
I
harmful.
I
It's sad. It's sad.
I can see it.
Just because I really want a close finish. I like when it's really close.
Yeah.
There was, I think, season 2, like literally running to the final mat. You have a team running, and the second place team passes the first place team with like 100 yards to go. Like I like a finale like that. So anyway, okay, so then they have to go to this head house square. They have to recite the preamble to the Declaration of Independence. This is where Brooke takes her size 6.5 foot and shoves it right down her throat. So when I was in 5th grade, we had to learn the preamble. It is still here. I knew it like this. And anyone who's ever watched Schoolhouse Rocks, I mean, I'm probably older than some of the people listening, you know you've learned this. So in classic Brooke, I write this down. In classic Brooke fashion, I am standing with Juan at the time, and I go, oh my God, I know this. And I've had, like 6 drinks, and I'm like, I can do this. And I then go ahead to recite it, right? And Juan looks at me and goes, damn, Brooke, that's a weird flex. And I'm like, sorry. Anyway, it is not until I got home and I'm rewatching the whole thing that I realized that they have to recite the preamble to the Declaration of Independence, and I only know the preamble to the Constitution. So I have now said the wrong thing to someone who was on the show, and I was so proud of myself. And he's like, oh my God, that's like so good. Probably realizing this girl's an idiot. Like I did not even, I was like, oh, Brooke, you still remember, you're so smart and pretty and fabulous. No, I'm an idiot, and apologies. And it was very funny. He was very kind to me because he could have called me dumb. Too long didn't read. I'm an idiot. Like that's.
But still, like you said, that's a weird flex. But listen, those weird things come to handy. Not to go too deep though. But this challenge for me was a little hard to watch because just reading it and hearing some of the words and based off of what our country is supposed to be made off of, and just kind of sort of hearing those lies in the sense that like it's not really true. You don't mean that for everybody. So just for me personally, if I was on that race and we had to do that would have been a hard mental block for me. And so just seeing Rod struggle, not because but Rod just struggled because but
concussions.
Just for me, just reciting those things that are just supposed to be, we hold this to be so self-proven.
And then all men. But
all men, okay. No, because
we don't give a shit about the women or the people who aren't
the
white.
people of color or the people that have actually built this country. So that was just like a little weird for me to I get why they were doing it because again, but it was just like a little like cringy, because it's like but y'all not really.
But you still would have done a great job.
I would have tried.
You're smart and you're gorgeous.
Tried.
And you would have done the right document.
I definitely would have recited it, but I was like, I can recite these lies. Let's because that's what they are. But anyway. Started to take a weird turn.
No, I mean you're right. It's truthful. So anyway, sorry. No.
All the Caesar hate.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
All the Caesar hate. Y'all been saying he been killing it because it's his native tongue. Well, baby, this ain't his native tongue. These words wasn't easy.
No, and he took the harder part too. I believe the second part was the harder part because everyone knows that first part. Like that is in there somewhere.
And what did he do?
He did fantastically.
What did he do?
The funniest part about it is Ricky and Sacer do it on the first try, and Ricky misses a little 2 in there. And then when the guy says nay, which is just ridiculous, Sacer's like, do you think it was me? And Ricky goes, yeah. It wasn't. But so Ricky and Sacer and Rod and Letitia are there at the same time. Letitia's memory is pretty good. She's running through it. Rod flat out says, I've been hit in the head too many times. I'm having a real hard time. This is one of the moments where I actually really felt for him, because you could see how most things, especially physical things, probably come very easily to him. And he was having a moment here where he was like, it was just a mental block. And I really, really felt for him, because you can tell how hard he was trying.
Right.
But the way that this like old English was written is not how you would normally speak anyway. And so it was particularly hard for him, but he did well. But then Juan and Shane show up. After driving to Patterson, New Jersey, I don't know where they go, somewhere in New Jersey. They find the clue and they open it up, and Juan's like, drive yourself, and Shane goes, to New Jersey. Like they have such a good sense of humor about it, which I appreciate. But then they get to the right, they find Pat's and Gino's, like the right ones. And then they actually catch up to Rod and Leticia, who are struggling a little bit. But Ricky and Sacer have gotten out of there, and they have to go to the Betsy Ross house to find their next clue. I actually really like the next task. But so Ricky and Sacer find the Betsy Ross house, and it says, who wants to earn their stripes? Who wants to earn your stripes? Whatever. I love this. It's a logic puzzle, and it is so smart, because you have to go to different rooms and listen to different fake actors who pretend to be like George Washington and Betsy Ross, and I want to say Ben Franklin, but I'm not sure, tell you have to line up the 13 colonies in the order that they were ratified as states. But it's like, so Delaware was first, and the state you're in is second, and this one is 4 states below this one, and this one is 11th, and this one, and it was a very well done, smart task. So meanwhile, Rod and Letitia are on their 10th try. He's getting a little frustrated, but I think they get it. They're still in second place. Juan and Shane show up as Rod and Letitia are leaving, and Juan slays it like that, to the point where Shane looks over and goes, wait, what? Like, are you kidding? And Shane is very cute and is like, I need a moment. So then they try again. They do really, really well. And Sacer is getting the flag done as other people are showing up to the flag. This challenge, I love this challenge. That's all I want to say about the challenge. So they have to drive to the Arch Street Meeting House, and then Rod and Letitia are showing up as Ricky and Sacer are leaving. You see them in the same frame. You can't change that editing. It is what it is.
Love it.
And then Letitia goes in to do the memory challenge. I like that she volunteered to do it. She's like, this one's on me. I'm good at memory, and she's in it. At this time, Juan and Shane get the other challenge done, the Declaration of Independence. The guy goes, huzzah. I think he's trying to be a great judge. He's not my favorite judge of the day. And then they get to the flags. Ron and Letitia are still working on the flag. Ricky and Sacer are at the other meeting house putting together I was going to say Statue of Liberty. That's not right. Liberty Bell. They get to this Arch Street Meeting House, and I go, yes, it's my favorite time of the season. It's always like this, with very rare exception. Amazing memory tasks to chase you through everywhere you've been, something from each leg. What's it going to be? Like, I am psyched. It is my favorite challenge, whatever it is, every season. And then there isn't one. It's put together a puzzle.
But a very hard puzzle. That I was kind of like waiting for, like, well, where the memory? Where you gotta like.
This happened to Will and James too, where I was like, where's your memory challenge? And remember, they had to, this is the first season we did together. They had to put together like those strips on that huge ball globe thing and roll it through New Orleans. Now, I think Will and James would have done great on a memory challenge. I like when there is something. They had a memory, like, because this is Philadelphia. So when they did a finale in New York City, I mean, several seasons ago, which the finale ended.
Seasons ago?
No, many more than that. But it was because 7 seasons ago was mine.
Because you know,
and
several
we were in Chicago. Oh, right. Shout out Jelinski. So anyway, the one in New York City ended on my block, no less. I used to live on 45th between 1st and 2nd. This ended at the UN, which is like 44th and 1st. And this challenge was ridiculous. They had like vats of like kickball-sized balls with the outlines of countries on them, and you had to dive into this thing, grab the right ball, and put them in order of the countries you were in. it was physically difficult. It was, if you didn't know the outline of the countries you went, you had to study like something that people weren't studying. Like they've had ones where it's like, what's the currency you use in every country? Like they've just done things that people don't necessarily habitually look at. The flags and this, whatever. Ours was not particularly hard. Is what place did you come in each leg of the race? And I knew it. That's something you remember. I could sit 4, 6, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 1. Still know it off the top of my head, but you'll never forget it. But this one was, there wasn't one. I actually wanted to watch Ricky and Stacey do it because we knew things like they went back to Rihanna's house and checked what the thing on the floor looked like. We knew they were prepared, and I would have really liked to have seen it, but alas, Brooke doesn't get what she wants, and they just had to put together this 3D puzzle, which looked like a hard puzzle.
And looked fun, honestly.
Sure,
I would have enjoyed.
But it wasn't something that was going to let other teams catch up and pass them. So whatever. So, okay. So Juan and Shane get to this flag thing and they overtake Rod and Leticia. Now, this just shows how fast Juan is doing things, because Juan and Shane have now gone 45 minutes or more in and out and in the wrong direction. And they are back and they have now lapped Rod and Leticia. And they get out of there second. But by the time they get to the Liberty Bell, Ricky and Stacey are gone. So we can't even fake that, like the editing makes it look that close. They do make it look like Ricky and Stacey get lost on their way to the pit stop and Juan and Shane. But it is about 45 to 50 minutes difference. I am very curious to know how it would have ended if the two gentlemen did not make their way to New Jersey. I think it would have been so close and such a good photo finish. But the only thing about Leticia doing the flag is, so the blue part of the flag where you have the circle of stars, where what an old flag looks like, there's little snaps for you to snap the stars on. And she's listening to the Betsy Ross and she's like, Betsy Ross is about 5-point stars, but I think she hears 5 stars and she only puts 5 stars on the flag. And she's like, why am I getting it wrong? But she has to go back a few times. And I think that's what allows Juan and Shane to pass. But they finally get it. Ricky and Caesar are on their way to the finish line. They get their clue that says, go, go, go. For me, on our last leg, my partner said, can I read the opening clue? And I said, sure, but if we are in first place and I want to read the clue at the end that says go, 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 because it's very iconic in The Amazing Race. That's what your last clue always says. So Caesar shows the go, go, go clue to the camera. They are making their way to Glen Ford Estate, to the finish line. I will never forget this moment for me. It's a very out-of-body experience when you see that mat and you see all the teams there and you realize that you are the first team. I had a moment of, is somebody hiding? And are we second? But when you get, like, I felt for them. I was watching them. They were holding each other. It was such a lovely moment to watch them take the whole thing home. And they get up there. They're just beautiful people. This is a deserving, wonderful win. For anyone out there who says they had an unfair advantage, disagree. I think if you speak a language, good on you. I think if you lived in the final city, good on you. And I think that they showed through the entire race that they were very deserving winners. They were smart and they played it like they knew what they were doing. So very, 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 very proud of Ricky and Stacey. Welcome to the winner's circle, gentlemen. And Juan and Shane show up about 45 minutes later. They are such good sports. They're still joking around and happy. They're happy that they got to spend the last several weeks with their best friend. And then finally, Rod and Leticia show up, still smiling, still happy, give a little bit of marriage advice to everybody. So Vinny and Amber, listen up because they're a successful marriage. And the end. That's it.
That's our pit stop. Again, congratulations to Ricky and Caesar. I think that they well deserved it. And I love this final 3 of teams, Juan and Shane and Rod and Chi-Chi. I think that it was an exciting, fun season. I really loved all the teams this year. Again, special shout out to my girl Angie and Danny, Chris and Mary. I thought they killed it as well, but it's like so sad that we are.
And sorry, really quickly, special shout out to Rowan and Maya, because honestly, when you go home first, you could be bitter. You could not want to be involved. They are just such kind, wonderful people who showed up every week to watch, who were just so into it, who even though living the dream was short-lived, I have never been an advocate for bringing back the people who are first out, because I think for the most part, those people don't know what they're doing. But I think, well, because Yeah, but I do
Sometimes.
think Rowan and Maya lost for very unfortunate circumstances, and I would be thrilled to see them do this again because I think they are very Ricky and Cesar-esque. I think they were very well prepared, and I think absent just one horrible thing that happened to them at the beginning, they could have gone so far.
Agreed.
So I would advocate for that, like the producers are listening or care what I think.
You listen,
But
you never know.
if they do, bring me back, bring them back, bring Brice on, and we'll go from there.
Yes. Well, it's been an amazing season. Again, more and more each time we do this, I have my love for Amazing Grace grows, and I definitely am sad that it's going to be a while before we get another one. But I've been always so grateful to do this with you, Brooke. I think that you're amazing, and I love to just see you shine, and I love all the love that people give you because listen, Brooke is a winner. Okay, put some respect on her name. We will be back sooner than later. And again, let us know before we go. Go ahead. Okay.
Every week, you are so wonderful and you say all these nice things. And I just want to say, forget Amazing Race, Survivor, like Housewives, this, that. You are the hardest working man in show business. You are always so full of and I don't know how you stay awake, but also you do all of these things with such like grace and kindness and light and joy and happiness. If you don't know Brice, you're missing out. Like to meet you and know you in person and to be lucky enough to call you one of my closest friends is just an honor. And so, sorry, it's you. Oh.
Brooke, I'm not crying today. Where my busy glasses?
I don't know where mine are. I love you. I'm grateful for you. I will see you in a few days and we'll do something in the meantime because it will be too long and you're the best. Anyway, Brice is awesome. Give him the love that he deserves and let's do this again soon. Okay, I'm done.
Do it again soon. We love you, Brooke. We'll be back. Thanks for watching with us this season. We see the momentum. We see the love and support. We guys appreciate you so much. And again, do us a favor. Let us know in the comments if you want to see more Brooke and Brice. Tell us the season to watch. And trust me, Brooke will get on her notes.
I don't need notes for that one.
Oh.
That'd be great. I don't have to write notes at all.
Okay.
I lived that one. That would be good. But I don't even know if I necessarily want to watch that again. So we'll see what they say and we'll do it. This is a highlight of my week and you're a highlight of my life. Okay. I will see you soon. And thanks for watching, everybody.
This has been your Purple Pants Podcast pit stop coverage of Amazing Race season 36. Pit stop. It's the pit stop. It's the pit stop. It's the pit stop.
Pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit.